All right, today, you guys, I am going to be making Arayes for the very first time, so let's get into it.
Whipping up all of your favorite recipes.
Simply Food.
You should know by now that you're in for a treat.
Simply Food.
There's no other channel where you'd rather be.
Simply Food.
Seafood, pasta, cakes, and pies. Sing and laugh and even cry. Like and share and hit subscribe. Simply Food by TY.
All right, y'all, so let's go over the ingredients. You're going to need paprika, cumin powder, coriander powder, ras el hanout. Now, I will talk a little bit more about exactly what that is in a few moments. You're going to need some pita, about 6 cloves of garlic, 1 jalapeno, some mint leaves, 1 yellow onion, parsley, cilantro, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I have 1 pound of ground beef. You can also use lamb. You see that? You see that? You see that? You see that? Don't ask me for an ingredient list. Come on. Now, the best thing about this particular recipe that I'm trying out today is that pretty much all of the work is going to be done in a food processor. We're only going to need half of an onion. I'm going to use this full jalapeno. I'm going to leave the seeds in. I'm just slightly, slicing it open and in half so that I can get it in the processor a lot easier. For the garlic cloves, I'm just going to remove the tips as per usual. Like I said, I'm working with 6 cloves of garlic, and I also have 6 mint leaves. I would say about a half a cup worth of some fresh cilantro, and the same thing applies for the parsley. I'm going to remove this parsley, though, from the stem, and then make sure that I clean all of this down before we transfer it over to the food processor. While I'm starting to prep some of this, I just wanted to ask you guys, how many of you guys have ever tried Arayes before? Where you're from. It is a Middle Eastern dish, but from what I'm understanding and from all the research that I've done, a lot of people make this exact dish, but they just kind of all call it different things. So this is going to be one of those type of recipes where I'm going to say it's inspired by a lot of different cultures. So I'm looking forward to trying it out, and I've never made this before. And I'm going to talk about why it's important to test out the meat before actually putting it into the actual pita a little bit later on. Because again, this is a recipe that I'm testing out with you guys. So we're gonna make ourselves a little mini burger so that we can get a taste for it to see if I wanna add in any additional spices to it before I go through the trouble of stuffing it in the pita. Because once it's in there, honey, it's already done. For the parsley, like I said, I'm just going to go in with equal amounts because I have about a half a cup of cilantro here. So I'm going to do the same thing for the parsley, but please make sure that you wash them. I can already feel the dirt and the grit all over this parsley. This stuff is absolutely disgusting. And also because I know some people have like an adverse reaction to cilantro. If you're one of those people, literally just use parsley. It's fine. You don't have to use cilantro if you don't like the taste of cilantro. And again, like I said, everything is just going to go right into the food processor. So I'm adding in my half an onion, my jalapenos, my mint, my garlic, and my cilantro. I did not remove the membrane from the jalapeno or the seeds because I want just a little bit of heat to it. And now I'm just going to blend this on down. And this is about how fine you want everything to be. You don't need to necessarily liquefy it, but you want it nice and fine. So like I said, I'm going to be working with 1 pound of ground beef. You can absolutely use lamb if you would like. And I'm going to go in and add in my blended veggies. As you guys can already tell, this is a very easy recipe to put together. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what this tastes like. I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder. And now let's talk about the star of the show, the ras el hanout. Now, this is a spice that I have found has been associated with a lot of Middle Eastern recipes. And I looked at the ingredients on the back of this, which lists coriander, cumin, garlic, turmeric, ginger, onion, salt, chili powder, black pepper, cloves, paprika, cinnamon, nutmeg. After looking at the ingredients in it, I just felt like this was going to be one of the best things to add into it. Now, I found this on Amazon, but there's also a lot of recipes online where they can show you how to make this spice blend yourself. Now, I saw someone make this recipe and they put in 2 whole tablespoons. So I'm going to try it out. And that's the reason why I said that I'm going to make a little miniature burger once I mix this up and taste it before I add in any actual salt, because I have no idea exactly how salty this actually is. 2 tablespoons. And because I'm using a relatively lean ground beef, I'm gonna add in just a tiny bit of avocado oil or any type of neutral oil. And now give all of this a good mix. The spices and the smell is already absolutely insane. It definitely smells very Mediterranean, and that's definitely coming from that mint that we've added in there, the parsley. It really does smell really, really good. So after I'm done mixing this up, I'm gonna make myself a little tiny, tiny miniature burger. I'm talking about, honestly, about no bigger than probably about this size. I'm gonna fry this up really, really quick so that I can taste it and see if I need to add in any salt. And then I will come back and I'll let you guys know. Okay, y'all, so this is the little mini burger that I made. Let's give this a try. I wanted to give you guys my real reaction because I've never made this, so let's see what it's giving. It's very herby, but it definitely needs salt. So let me add in some salt. Okay, so in my opinion, it really only needs a half a tablespoon of coarse kosher salt. And that's primarily because I have some leftover tzatziki that I'm going to be dipping this in. And I don't want this to be overly salted. So I think that this is going to be the perfect balance. All right, y'all, so now let's go ahead and let's stuff our pita. Now, I'm using whole wheat because that's all they had in the grocery store. So I'm literally just going to slice this in half. And these already have little open pockets. So now all I have to do is I'm going to take a very thin amount of the meat and I'm going to flatten it down on one side. And I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, how on earth is that meat going to get cooked? You're going to cook this over some pretty low heat. And that's the reason why doing it nice and thin will ensure that the burger will be fully cooked. Now, if you're one of those people that enjoy eating like medium rare burgers and stuff, then that's probably really not going to be a concern of yours. But I definitely would not suggest overstuffing this. I think that what I'm doing right here is the perfect amount. And you definitely want to make sure that it comes all the way up to the edge. Get that nice and even, just like so. And this is what it should look like. Just like that. So I'm going to repeat that process for all of them, and then we can go over and we can start to fry these bad boys off. I have just one left, and this is actually literally the perfect amount. As you guys can see, I was able to use 3 pita altogether, and I'm able to get 6 Arayes altogether, which is actually perfect. This has turned out to be the perfect amount. And like I said, as I'm stuffing it in, I'm just making sure that I'm taking both of my hands and kind of flattening it down. So that way I can make sure that it's nice and even on the inside. And I can also bring the meat to the edge so that I can, you know, grill that outside part here. And there we go. Let's go ahead and let's start cooking these bad boys off. So in my skillet here, I've added in a very tiny amount of oil. I have this on a low temperature because I do not want to run the risk of overcooking the outside and the inside not being fully cooked through. So now I'm just going to allow these to cook low and slow on each side, probably about 3 to 4 minutes. I'll let you guys know. This is my first time making it, so I'll definitely let you guys know how long this process took. But that is also the reason why it's important to make sure that you're not overstuffing your pita, so that way the beef on the inside has an opportunity to fully cook. As you guys can see, I'm getting some beautiful grill marks on this from using this cast iron skillet. And now I've stood them straight up so that the outside can also get fully cooked. And what I've also done is I've made sure that I covered it partially with a little bit of aluminum foil so that I can really trap in the heat, so that way I can really be sure that that beef on the inside is cooking. But let me give you guys a quick look at what it's looking like. I mean, look at that. It looks absolutely beautiful, you guys. These are going to be absolutely bomb. Alrighty, you guys, I'm thinking that this first round is probably good to go. I'm gonna give it one last flip, and as you guys can see, by me flipping it periodically, I'm not burning the outside. But my goodness, tell me that that does not look absolutely incredible. I mean, come on. And I can already tell that that meat is definitely fully cooked on the inside. So I'm literally just gonna go and repeat this process until they are all done. And then we can go in and do ourselves a nice little taste test. And this will be my first time, y'all, making Arayes, or, you know, Mediterranean inspired meat stuffed pita.
You guys. Your boy done made a lot of things on All Things Simply Food by TY. But this one right here is probably one of my new favorite things I've ever made. This was so incredibly easy to make, but the flavors, my God.
All right, y'all, let's go in for this taste test. Here we go. That's actually beautiful. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna make this for everyone that I know, and you should too.
Slaying in the kitchen.
Simply Food by TY.
We hope that you enjoyed it.
Simply Food by TY. If you haven't took the time, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Simply Food.